Right. Good day, everyone. From this video, we are going to talk about the additional question 3, what we gave on the basic accounting equations. So far, we have done 2 additional questions with you from this area. This is the third questions. I hope all of you all have done this question. If not, please do the question before watching this video, and then thereafter you go through the video and do whatever the corrections. Right. Okay. Shall we moving into the question? The question says, record the following transactions in the basic accounting equation. They have given the assets, total assets of the business as at a given date, and also they have given the liabilities. They want you to calculate the equity balance, right? They have not given the equity, so then you can calculate the equity balance. And after that, they have given 8 transactions and asking you to record in the basic accounting equations, right? Okay, what is the basic accounting equation? Assets equal equity plus liability, right? In this question, they have not given the equity balance, right, at the beginning, but they have given the assets and the liabilities. So then how to calculate the equity balance? From the total assets, you subtract the total liabilities, right? Tell me, Putha, how are the total assets of the business? That is 320,000. Liabilities 120,000. Total assets 320,000. Total liabilities 120,000. So then you'll get the equity balance 320 minus 120. So then the equity balance is how much? 200,000. Equity balance rupees 200,000. Right. Then opening balances. Right. That's opening assets 320, equity 200, liability 120. Right. Right. Liability 120. Okay. Right. So they have not given the equity balance. So then you know how to calculate the equity balance. From the total assets, you subtract the total liabilities, then you'll get the equity balance. So equity balance is 200. Right. So as we know, before recording any transactions in the accounting equations, if the opening balances are there, those need to be recorded. So then we recorded the opening balance. Right. Now then you can start recording each and every transactions one by one. First one, you purchase 60,000 worth stocks on credit basis. Because this is a trading business. Trading means buying and selling. So then you have purchased 60,000 worth stocks on credit. When you purchase the 60,000 worth stocks, your stock balance increases. Stock is an assets, right? Stock is an assets, rupees 60,000, right? Stock is an assets. So then you can say it is rupees 60,000. Right. You can say stock. Right. And at the same time, how did you buy that on credit basis? So then your liability increases by 20,000. When you do the credit purchases, your liability increases rupees 60,000. Trade payable. Trade payable rupees 60,000. Stock increases and the trade payable increases rupees 60,000. Right. Putha, when you purchase an assets, right, till you use it, you recognize it as an assets, but soon after you use, you recognize it as an expense. Onam asset එකක් අපි පාවිච්චි කරනකම් income generate කරන්න use කරනකම් ඒක asset එකක් විදිහට recognize කරනවා. Once you use it, it will be recognized as an expenditure. ඔයා ඒක පාවිච්චි කරාට පස්සේ it will be recognized as an expenditure. එතකොට දැනට stock එක අපි විකුණුවොත් ඒක expense එකක් වෙනවා. හැබැයි sell කරනකම් ඒක අපේ asset එකක්. ඒ නිසා තමයි stock එක when you purchase it, you recognize as an asset, right? Okay. What is the next one? Sold 50,000 worth stocks for 60,000 on credit basis. 50,000 worth stocks you sold, right? बाकी stock එක 50,000 අපි sell කරනවා. අතට බලන්න. දැන් sell කරද්දී assets අඩු වෙනවා. That you recognize as an expense. What is the name of the expense? Cost of sales. What is the name of expense? That is cost of sales. Balad. You sold 50,000 worth inventory. When you sell 50,000 worth inventory, your stock balance reduces by 50, and that amount you recognize as an expenditure. On the other side, you receive the cash. This is on cash basis, right? Yeah. You received cash 60,000. Then your cash balance increases by rupees 60,000. And on the other side, that you need to recognize as an income. What is the income? Sales. How much the profit from this transaction? 10,000. 50,000 worth inventory, you sold for 60,000. When you sell 50,000 worth stocks, so that you recognize as an expenditure. Because when you use the assets for the purpose of generating income, so that you need to recognize as an expenditure. So here the expenditure is 50,000, and you receive 60,000 worth cash. So then your cash balance increases by 60,000. Then your equity balance increases by 60,000. Right. Okay. What is next? Recognitions of the income and expenses. Here we apply the matching concepts. Payment of electricity bill 15,000. Okay, we paid 15,000 rupees, 15,000 as electricity bill. Then your cash balance reduces by 15,000. Okay, paid. And this is an expenditure. Then by 15,000, your equity balance reduces. You call that as electricity bill. Cash reduces, electricity bill reduces rupees 15,000. What is next? Payment of insurance 12, but 2,000 relating for the next month. Okay, how do you record it? You paid 12,000. Happy 12,000 pay karla thiyena. Then what will happen? Your cash balance reduces by 12,000. But even though you paid 12,000, they say 2,000 you paid for the next year. So for the next month. Expenses paid for the future period, you recognize as an what? Assets. And we consider that as prepaid expenses. Prepaid expenses. So prepaid expenses is how much? Rupees 2,000. Prepaid expenses rupees 2,000. Right? The cash reduces by 12 and the prepaid expenses increase by 2,000. Equity balance reduces by 10,000. What is that? Insurance. I put a 10,000 because 10,000 is the amount relevant for the period. May month relevant amount 10,000. So we an accrual concept apply. What does the accrual concept say? Whether you paid or not, the record the amount relevant for the period. As an expenditure, you recognize the amount relevant for the period. So May 12,000 give what May month relevant amount only how much? 10,000. So that 10,000 you recognize as an expenditure. Question number 5. Purchase of stocks on credit basis 40,000. When you purchase the stocks on credit basis, your stock balance increased by rupees 40,000. And on the other side, what will happen? How did you buy it on credit basis? So then your liability increased by how much? Rupees 40,000. Liability increases. So you call that as a trade payable. Payable created from the trading activity. Stock purchases on credit basis. Stock increases and the liability increases, which is trade payable. What is next? Payment for the previous month electricity bill. Keep it in your mind. You paid this 10,000 for the previous year electricity bill. Right? Read it again. Previous month telephone bill. Payment of the previous month telephone bill. Eto ගෙවල දෙන්නේ ගිය මාස telephone bill එක. එතකොට cash අඩු වෙනවා. Anyway, there's a cash payment. Right. And previous month electricity bill you paid, then what will happen? By 10,000. Accrued electricity bill. Puta, this will not be recognized as an expenditure, right? Accrued telephone bill. Make expense එකක් වෙන්නේ නැහැ. මොකද අපි මේ month එකේ ගෙවුවට even though you paid in this month, this is not relevant for this month. This is an expense. එතකොට මේ amount එක ගිය month එකේ expense එකක්. එතකොට ගිය month එකේ expense එක අපි recognize කරලා තිබ්බේ නැහැ. expense එකක් විදියට. ගිය month pay කරලා තිබ්බේ නැහැ. හැබැයි ගිය month එකේ expense එකක් විදියට recognize කරලා ඇති. එතකොට ඒ recognize කරාම you could generate a liability. එතකොට අන්නේ liability එක අපි මේ month එකේ settle කරනවා. එතකොට මේ month එකේ ආයි expenses වලට දාන්නේ නැහැ. මොකද ගිය month එකේ මේ electricity bill එක accrued expense විදිහට record කරද්දී ඒකේ expense එකක් විදිහට record වෙලා ඇති. ආපහු අපි දැම්මොත් it will be duplicated. එතකොට මේ month එකේ ගිය මාසේ expense එකක් ගෙවනවා නම් it will be recognized as what? As a liability. Settlement of a liability. It is a settlement of a liability. Right. Okay. Hope you can understand this. Right. Moving to the next one. Question number 7. Payment of the previous month electricity bill 10,000. Api me transaction number 6 එක කරලා නැහැ නේ. This is the transaction number 7. Let me do the transaction number 6. What is the transaction number 6? Says cash pay to creditor 35 to settle a creditor balance of 40,000. Api ගෙවලා තියෙනවා පුතා 35,000 in cash. So your cash balance reduces by 30,000, 35,000. Liabilities kiyකින් අඩු වෙනවා. The trade payable reduces by how much? Rupees 40,000. The trade payable reduces by rupees 40,000. Because you paid 35,000. You paid 35,000 to settle a liability of 40,000. So from these transactions, you can see you paid 35,000 in cash, but you could reduce the liability of how much? Rupees 40,000. You could reduce the liability of rupees 40,000. Right? And now you have a what? Income. Matakada reduction in liability you recognize as an income. එතකොට මෙතන ඔයාගේ liability එකක් අඩු වෙනවා without making any payment. So then that you need to recognize as an income. What is the name of that income? That is called discount received. How do you call that income? Discount received. And Aputa saying discount received, your income increases by how much? Rupees 5,000. Clear? Right. What is the last one? Cash drawings made by the owner, rupees 30,000. And by 30, your cash balance decreases. On the other side, what? Drawings reduces owner's equity, that is 30,000. Right, okay. This is all about this particular question. This is the additional question 3 what we gave on the basic accounting equations, right? The first transaction, you purchase the stocks on credit basis. Second one, you sold 50,000 worth inventory for 60,000. You can see how do we record the sales. Electricity bill payment, insurance payment. May insurance payment again 12,000 only 2,000 is an expense, is an asset because it's a prepaid expense. Here 40,000 was stocks increases, liability increases by 40, and when you pay creditors, if you receive the discount, so that you need to recognize as an income that we identified from the 6th transaction. Transaction number 7, settlement of the previous expense doesn't reduce the equity, it will be reduced from the liability and cash drawings, right? Okay. එන පුතා අඳුර ගන්න prepaid assets. Prepaid expenses are assets. Accrued expenses are what? Can liability. Accrued expenses are liability, right? That also you need to understand. Okay. Thank you, Pata. This is all about additional question number 3 on the basic accounting equations, and there will be some more questions in the classrooms and in your WhatsApp groups. Please do them soon after we post it. And some of the questions answers we will give as a PDF. Some of the question answers will be given as a videos. But anyhow, keep doing all these questions and rectify your answers. Right? Okay. Thank you, everyone.